Hi, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe if you haven't done it yet. Thanks. Welcome back to this Laravel 7 tutorial for beginners. Today we will create a CRUD application. It's a to-do app. So we will practicing how to create, read, update and delete. In this tutorial, we're not using Vue.js on the front end, so everything just pure Laravel. In the next video, I will create exactly the same application, but with Vue.js on the front end, so we won't have any page reloads when we interact with the application. So I just show you the application what we are creating now. So as you can see, we have this very basic UI. We have nothing added to our list at the moment, but we can easily add things like go to the shop, add to the list, and as you can see, we already have it, or clean house, add it, or learn Laravel, for example. Okay, and you can mark them as completed if you want to. As you can see, it's marked as completed. We can have this SVG icon in front of the task title, and it's switched to green background. We can edit our entries, like for example, if you want to change it to room, let's click on update and it's updating. Or if you want, you can mark them as incomplete, or you can delete them if you want to. Okay, so that's it. Let's start it. Right, so let's just create our fresh Laravel application quickly. Let's call it to do. Okay, that's done. Let's just add Bootstrap to our application as well. So we need to pull in Laravel UI. Let's just copy this line. First of all, let's cd inside our new application. So cd to do. Now paste this command. Right, that's done as well. So we don't need any Vue.js and authentication. We just need only Bootstrap at this time. Okay, and this one is done as well. And as it is says, we need to do Npm Install now. Right, that's done as well. Let's do Npm run watch. And let's open up one more command line to run our server. So php artisan serve. So we should be able to see now our brand new application. Yes, we can. Laravel. So let's just create our database for this application. So let's go to phpMyAdmin and create to do and use nb utf-8mb4 Unicode. Okay, so let's just update our credentials in the Laravel application. Let's open up VS Code. Okay, we have to go to the .env folder. And here is our database credentials. Let's update to do. My username is root and I don't have any password on my local machine. Let's close this up. It's already saved by using autosave. Okay, so first of all, let's just create our model and controller file for this application. In order to do that, we need to open up one more command line. And let's just say we want a to-do application. So we need a to-do table in our database, and we want to interact with it through our model and controller. So we have to type in PHP artisan make model, and what model we would like. We would like to create a model called to do, and we want the migration file for it. We want the controller, so that's why we type in C, and we want the resources as well inside the controller file. So hit enter, and as you can see, it's already created our model file and created our migration file, and our controller is created as well. So first of all, let's just go to the model, then to the migration file, then to the controller. Okay, so our model is inside our app todos.php. Let's just tell Laravel what fields we would like to populate inside the database. And we want to populate the completed or not complete, so basically we need a completed field as well. Right, now let's go to the database. So let's check our migration files. As you can see, we have create to-dos, and we want string title, and we also would like to know if this to-do is completed or not. So let's create a row for that. Table. This will be a boolean. Completed. Okay, so that's it for the migration. Let's just migrate it into our database. So let's go back to the command line, PHP artisan migrate, and we have our to-dos with title and completed. And we already told Laravel that we would like to update them inside this todo.php. And let's just create a layout folder, because we don't want to type in all the time this HTML and head and body tags. So we will include our pages inside this body tag. To do app. Okay, now let's just link our style sheet and our JS file as well. Okay, I will copy these from my existing projects. So let's import our script, our fonts, and style sheet as well. Okay, so here is the font, and here is the app.css. We would like to basically use these as our template, and we want to change the content inside the body tags. So let's just, okay, so that's where our content will be placed. Okay, so if we are going back to the welcome.blade.php, then we need to tell to the Blade template engine that we would like to use this layout file. So we want to extend that layout file. Extends layouts, which is the folder, because our app.blade.php is inside the layouts folder, and we want to use the app file. We don't need to type in blade.php. Laravel automatically will find that app file for us. Okay, and we also need to tell Laravel where we would like to place our content. We would like to place our content inside this content section. So let's just create this section. Okay, and the section name is content. Here we are. It's already saved. Let's hit refresh. Of course, we are must be a typo. layouts.app view not found. Yes, because I created my layouts folder outside the views folder, so I need to place them inside, move it there, and now it should be okay. Yeah, we can see nothing, which is exactly we expected, but if I type in something, we should see it. There you go. So in the project I just showed you, I used a gradient blue background, which I have copied from this gradient generator website. So I use it again. Okay, so I want the whole body tag be this using this gradient color. So I go to the sass app.sass and I'm telling here body, hey body. I want the width of 100 viewport width and height 100 VH, and the background I want this gradient. Let's have a look. Here you go. So this is our background. Okay, and let's go back to our welcome.blade.php. Oh, there is one more thing. At the moment, we are serving our welcome page by this route, but at the home page, I want to serve from my to-do controller. So to-do controller at index. Okay, so every time when I visiting the home page, I want to go to the to-do controller index method, app http controllers to-do controller. I want to use this method, and now I'm serving the welcome.blade.php file. So I want to return a view called welcome. Let's have a look if everything is okay. Yeah, that's fine. And of course, later on I will get all the to-dos and pass it into the view, but that's for later on. Let's just create these resources routes as well. So let's just create the basic layout. I want to create a div here. I'm using Bootstrap classes. So I want this div 100% width and 100% height, and I want to make it flex container, and I want content center, So now if I create a H1 tag here, it should be perfectly centered. Let's have a look. H1 Todo App. Go, it's perfectly centered because we are using Flexbox to center it. Let's make it even bigger and white color using Bootstrap classes. I will use the display. For example, and text white. Now let's create our input field to type in to-dos. We should create one more div inside this. And let's make it only 50%. And place everything inside this. Okay. So basically we need a form here, because here is where we create our new to-dos. So the action will be route store. If we are typing something in this form and we submit the form, then we want to go to the to-do controller store method, and that's where we will save it into the database. Okay, this form needs a method as well. It's gonna be post. And also don't forget to type in the CSRF token. It's important for Laravel. And we need an input field. We will using Bootstrap for input. Okay, let me just grab it from my existing project. Right. So nothing special here. We have an input field and the button to submit the entry. Let's have a look. Refresh. I think we could make it a bit smaller, just using inline styling. %. It's much better. It's more than enough. And let's just center all the text. Okay, now we have to make this work. So our input field name is title. It's called title. And if we are hit the submit button, which is called add to the list, then we are going to the to-dos store method. So let's just go over there. To-dos store. First of all, let's validate the request. Then let's save this request. And by default, we want everything uncompleted. So the completed field, to-dos, and let's just return back to the home page. Return and redirect to the home page. Okay, so let's create our first entry, go to the shop, add to the list, add title, the fillable properties. I thought I already added it, but let's have a look. Yeah, I have a typo here, fillable. Let's resubmit it. Oh yes, because I started my server, then I changed .env file. .env. So although my database name is to do here, it still recognizes it as Laravel, so I need to restart the server. Control C and PHP artisan serve. And if I hit refresh again, I got redirected back to the home page. And if I check my database, here we are. Here is our go to the shop. Let's create one more clean house. Clean house, add to the list. Yeah, it's disappeared and we are redirected back to the home page, so it should be saved as well. Exactly. Okay, so we would like to show it on the home page, our to-dos. So let's just create this block as well. Under the form, let's create a h2 tag. Let's call it my to-do list. Text white. And let's just add some instruction here as well. Just write above the form. Text white. Okay, let's give it some padding on the top. Okay, let's give some padding to this one as well. D2, okay, let's create a div. Let's make this div background color white. BG white. Okay, now we would like to show our to-dos inside this div. But in order to show them, we need to grab them from we need to read them from the database. So let's go to the to-dos controller. And here's where we show our welcome page. And let's just grab the to-dos list from the database as well. To-dos equal. This stands for the database, to-do database. And we would like to show them in and we would like to show the latest first. So let's say latest and get all. Get. Okay. So at the moment we have all our to-dos here, but we need to pass it inside this view. So we need to say with to-dos. Right, we should see nothing on the welcome page for now. Let's just for each loop our collection. Our collection is to-dos, and we want to loop them through as to-do. So now we can write out our to-do title. Okay, so we get clean the house and go to the shop. Of course, we want them, each of them, on its own line, in its own line. So let's create a div for each of them. Let's make this div 100% width. Is it already 100% width? Yes, it is. But just make sure it's 100% width, just like this one as well. With 100%. And let's give it, okay. Let's make it deflex again. Okay, and align items center and justify content between. And let's give it some padding. 3, 4, for example. Okay. Let's make that little SVG icons in front of each of them, each of the list. I get those SVGs from this website. So first, I used this one. It's copied. So we need an if statement here, because if it's uncompleted, we would like to use this SVG. So at if task to do completed is equals to 0. Then we would like to show this SVG. Else we would like to show the tick icon. Else we would like to show the check icon. Okay, and the colors at the moment are black. But I used a different color in my application. Okay, so the color I used is this one. Okay, so they are not completed yet, as you can see. And also we would like to make a button here, and if we click on it, we would like to mark them as completed. So basically it has to be a form. That's why Vue.js will be very handy and easy for this task, because we don't need to perform a HTTP request, or if we have to, we still doesn't need, okay, and we would like to create a button here, which will be called mark as completed. And if we click on it, it's update our database and mark each to do as completed. Here is our title and icons, SVG icons, and we need to create another div here. Basically, it has to be a form inside that div. And the action will be to do dot update. Okay, so the root will be to do dot update, and we also need to tell Laravel what to do we want to update. So we need to pass in the ID as well to that route. ID, okay. So we have the action. The method will be post, but we need to use another method as well as a and it will be a put request basically. Okay, and here we would like to create a hidden input field, and we will submit this hidden input field to our backend. Okay, so basically we would like to mark them as completed, so the value will be 1 and it will be hidden. And we need to create a button to submit this request, so mark it as completed. I'm using Bootstrap classes here. Okay, so let's go down to the update method. And we have and Laravel is smart enough that we are passing the ID in to this update. It will automatically grab the to-do from the database, so we can work with it straight away. So all we need to do is just update this to-do variable and save it. So we want to update this to-do, and we want to update it with the send request. So everything sent by the request, we want to update it. For now, we are sending only the completed variable. Okay, so that's it. It's already saved it as well. So we need to return back to the home page. Okay, let's hit refresh. and something isn't okay. Oh, the problem is it has to be inside this div. Now should be okay. Okay, we are still not getting the button. btn success. Here we go. Let's give some margin right for the entire div. Class mr4 refresh. Okay, so if we check our database, we have two entries, and both of them marked as uncompleted because they have the completed fields are 0, so false. Let's click on one of them. We got redirected back to the home page. Let's have a look at our database. Okay, the problem was that I haven't gave a name for it. I haven't named it. And it's called completed. Refresh. Okay, and as you can see, it's already changed to the ticked version, and our database is updated as well. It's like this as well. Okay, but what if I want to mark it back as uncompleted? So we need to basically duplicate this form. This form has to be duplicated. Let's create an if statement, basically. So if to do completed is equal to 0, then we want to show this mark it as completed. Else basically I want the same form. I would like to go to the same route with the same ID, with the same method, but instead of passing in 1, which is true, I want to mark it as false, and I want to say mark it as uncompleted. Hit refresh. Okay, that works now, and let's give it a different color. So let's make it, instead of success, warning. Okay, let's have a look if it works. So we should see the different SVG icon, and the color should be changed back to green. Yeah, as you can see, it works as we expected. We can mark them as completed, and we can mark them as uncompleted as well. Okay, let's just create the icon for editing the name of the to-do, and let's create the icon for the delete method as well. Okay, I get those icons from the same page. Edit. I use this one for edit. Inside this div, which I have to make a deflex again, and item. You know what? I'm just copy them. There you go. Let's grab again the icon. paste it in here, and let's give some margin on the left. HTML4, and let's give it the same color. Jesus. Okay, let's have a look. Looks okay. Let's grab the trash icon. Right, in Laravel, if you would like to perform a delete request, we need to create a form for that. This will be a post form, and inside the method we will use the delete method name. So let's just create a form. The action will be route, to-do route, and the destroy method inside the to-do controller. And of course we need to send the ID as well. So Laravel know which to-do has to be deleted. Okay, so the method inside the form tag is post. Don't forget the CSRF token. And the method which has to be delete. Okay, and we need to place this SVG icon. Well, of course, we need to create a button which will submit this form. And inside this button, we will show our SVG. It's not destroyed, destroy. Okay, we need to remove these borders and background colors from the button. So class border 0 bg transparent. And we want the margin on the button itself, not on the SVG icon. There you go. So now we should be able to perform a delete request. It's easy again. Laravel smart enough to grab our to-dos by ID for us. So all we need to do is to-do delete. And the same thing, we would like to go back to the home page. Let's try this out, hit refresh and delete this, go to the shop. Here you go. We can now create and delete and mark them as completed. Let's create this update edit method as well. Right, so for this one, for this SVG, we want to place it inside a anchor tag. Let's give a class of inline block. And the route is to do edit. And of course, we need to tell Laravel what to do we want to update or edit. So we need to pass in the to-dos ID. Okay, and inside this anchor tag, we would like to place this SVG. Right. Let's have a look if it works. Yeah, we are going to edit the second to-do, which is the only one at the moment, ID second. Of course, we are seeing nothing because we haven't created the edit inside our controller, but let's just do that now. So if we are going to Todo's controller, we have this edit. I can repeat myself. Laravel already grab the to-do for us by ID. So now we would like to return a view. I will create a new folder called to-do. And inside that folder, I will create a new file called edit. And to that view, I would like to pass in the to-do, what I would like to edit. So with to-do variable. Okay, so let's just create this to-do folder and this edit file. So we need to go to inside resources, views, which is here. Inside these views, you would like to create a new folder called to-do. And inside that to-do, I would like to create a new file called edit.blade.php. And basically, I'm just copy everything from the welcome page and paste it in here. And instead of to-do app, I would like to say edit your to-do called, and let's just print out the to-do's name or title. We can delete basically nearly everything from here. Let's delete it. I think we have more than, yeah, we don't need this div as well. So only 2 ending div and 2 opening divs. And I kept this form, but instead of store, we would like to go to the update. And of course, we have to say Laravel what we would like to update. ID. It will be a post method inside the form tag, but the update always has to be put. We don't need a placeholder, but we want the value. Okay, and submit, not add to the list, but save. Let's have a look. If we are going back, hit refresh. Okay, so clean the house. And we have this input field, edit your to-do called clean the house. Let's change it to room. Save, and it's clean the room. Learn Laravel. Okay, so let's say we already cleaned the room. It's marked as completed. As you can see, we can delete it if you want. We can mark it as completed, incomplete. We can edit it if you want, save, and we can delete it if you want. Oh, okay, and if we have nothing on the list, we can say something like nothing on the list. Okay, so we have nothing in our list. So basically, okay, so we have nothing in the list, so we should tell the user that nothing added yet. It's easy, but we need to use different method. Because we used for each to loop out our to-dos. But instead of for each, we would like to use, in this case, where is it? Is it starting? For each, we would like to use for else. And for each, and for else, and before this and for else, we would like to add. There you go. Nothing added to your to-do list. Of course, you can make it bigger if you want to. And now we added something. Let's add something else as well. Mark it as completed. Mark this one as completed as well. Add a third one. It jumps on the top. Let's delete this cleaned house thing. Mark it as incomplete. Again, save, mark it as complete. Okay, thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't done it yet, and see you in the next video.